Yes, yes, yes. No, sell now. Please sell it all now. There is no way we are making a loss this quarter. Ah, hang on, need to go. Hello, boys and girls, and welcome to the Financial Centre. Today, we're going to be learning about profit and loss. Now, you may be asking, I've heard those terms before, Mr. Gordon, but I'm not too sure what they actually mean. So let's take a wee look and see what the terms profit and loss actually mean. So in many industries, businesses sell items, and the profit is the amount of money they make on these items. So initially, a business has to buy or produce the items, and that costs money. Then, when they sell the items, they receive money. And the amount of money that they have left will determine whether they've made a profit or loss. First of all, let's look at the term profit. The profit or gain is equal to the selling price minus the cost price, or the price it costs to produce the item. To work out the loss is equal to the cost price minus the selling price. I don't know about you boys and girls, but that can still seem a little bit confusing. So let's go across to a few of my friends for some real world examples. Oh! Hello there, boys and girls. I'm Mr. G, and welcome to Gordon's Groceries. I believe the financial advisor, Mr. Gordon, sent you over. Well, I'm here to show you a couple of real-world examples of profit and loss and how they work in my store.
So let's take a look at this example. I bought this lovely bunch of bananas for £1. That's my cost price. And I sell them on for £1.50 a bunch. That's my selling price. So let's input those numbers into our equation. So we have our selling price minus our cost price. So we have £1.50 minus £1, and that leaves us with 50 pence. So I've made a 50 pence profit on these lovely bananas.
Welcome back to the grocery store. Unfortunately, we don't always make a profit on items. Here's a little example of what happened last week. We had quite a bad week in the fruit produce.
So as you can see, we've had a bit of a poor week in the fruit section in the store. My bananas have went a little bit black and mouldy, so I've had to unfortunately put them on sale. They still cost me £1 to buy, but unfortunately I'm only selling them for 50 pence a bunch. So let's work out my loss. We'll input the numbers into our equation. So the cost price of the bananas was £1, and then we take away our selling price, which was 50 pence, and that leaves us with 50 pence. So I have made a loss of 50 pence.
Hello, my name is Scotty Gordine. I am the manager of Dulwich FC. I believe the local store and the financial advisors sent you over. I'm going to tell you about how Dulwich FC made some profit in the transfer market by buying a player and selling him on for more. Here's a wee example.
So I bought this superstar for 32 million, and then I sold Eden Hazard to Real Madrid for 132 million. So let's input the numbers into our equation to see the profit I made. So we have the selling price of 132 million minus the buying price of 32 million, and that leaves me with £100 million profit. Good business.
Welcome back. Unfortunately, we don't always do well in the transfer market. Here's an example of a time we lost some money and made a massive loss. Won't be buying him again.
So here's an example of a deal that didn't go too well. I bought Alvaro Morata for 70 million. And unfortunately, he wasn't very good. So I sold him on for 50 million. Let's input the numbers into our equation. So we have the cost price of 70 million. Take away the selling price of 50 million. And that leaves me with 20 million. So I've lost 20 million pounds on this player.
So those were a couple of simple examples of profit and loss. However, there's also a lot of other factors to be considered and taken into the equation when trying to figure out if we've made a profit or loss. Let's go to Farmer G to hear his story. Hello there, boys and girls. I believe the financial advisor sent you over to see me. I'm Farmer G, and I'm going to show you a real-world example of some profit and loss that I've been doing. Now, this one's a little bit more in-depth than the other ones that they showed you and that, So let's take a look at some of the U's I was buying last year and see if I made a profit on them, eh?
So last spring I bought this beautiful U for 100 whole pounds. It was a really good deal. She's a right bonny ewe. I was lucky that come the following springtime, she gave birth to 2 gorgeous little lambs. The next year, I sold the ewe for £100 and each of the lambs for £30. So, I now have £160. You may be thinking, well done, Farmer G. You've made a £60 profit. But I tell you this, I had to feed them sheep last year, and it cost me £25 to feed each lamb, and another £40 to feed the ewe. So my question to you, boys and girls, is, did I still make a profit? Let's have a look at the figures. So let's take a look at those figures for the lamb and the ewes. The ewe cost me originally £100, and each lamb cost me to buy £0. But as I said, remember, Mr. Farmer G had to feed those sheep and the ewes. So, how much did it cost me to feed the ewe? That was £60 for the year, and each lamb was £25. So let's add that up together. 60 plus 25 plus 25, it cost me £110 to feed them. But obviously I'm going to have to add on my original £100. So the lambs and the ewes cost me over the whole year £210. And how much did I sell them for? So I sold the ewe for £100. Sold the lambs for £30 each. And then we'll add all that up. So that's 60. So 160. So I made £160. But I've spent overall £210. So what I'm going to do is we're going to figure out how much I've lost. So 210 take away 160. So unfortunately, boys and girls, Farmer G's made a loss of £50.
Fantastic, boys and girls. Now that you have an understanding of what profit and loss means, can you complete the task below?